But now I live in Texas, and well, if you showed up with a gun and you're shooting in Texas, somebody's going to take you out before you shoot more people.
That's right. I don't know if this is such a rare thing in even Midtown over the past like 5 or 6 years. I remember New Year's Eve when Tim was there during Times Square. At Times Square, there was a shooting, I think, involved with a police officer. I have family that works on near 7th Ave, Midtown, and there was a shooting there in the daylight. And I have so many family members who work in the city, and they are way more concerned over the past 5 years how it's descended into hell than it has. These are much older people. In Manhattan, yeah. Really? These are like people in hotels in like Midtown area, and they're old enough to remember how Manhattan was in the 70s, which is an insane place. My grandfather was a cop there in the 70s. A lot of my uncles were firefighters there, and their stories were like war stories. You can look up pictures of even Midtown in the 70s, and it looks like a bombed out area, where CBGB's used to be, right? Yeah. It was not a good place in the 70s. A lot of like early tattooers that started there, all that stuff. Good for art, it was really bad to live.
It was even a little bit crazy in the 90s, which is when I first started going to CB's and shows there.
It got cleaned up, and then it got Disneyfied, which is a whole other problem.
And then they took CBGB's apart and moved the whole thing to Vegas, I believe.
Terrible. And now it's like a John Varvatos store, but which is just egregious. But like we've been seeing a lot of these stories out of Manhattan. The people being lit on fire in the subways, that unfortunate dead person who was accosted.
I think you always have shootings in New York City, but I think the past decade has been relatively safe compared to the past.